What up? What up? What up? It's your man, Mr. Controversy. Did you miss me? And of course, I got my dog with me, Mason. Yo, once again, what up, Mace?
Dude, Wednesday, hump day, whatever you want to call it, man. Quick shout out to my pops. It's my pops' birthday today. I'm sick of it. We done celebrated all day. I'm tired of it. Let's move on.
So let me tell you, it's funny you say that. So, and I saw that. Happy birthday, Pops. So today would have been my mother's birthday.
Wow.
Also. Yeah. So yeah, of course she had passed away, but yeah. So yep. So I celebrate. I ain't gonna lie, bro. So, I'm kind of like watching what I eat, whatever. But man, I took my daughters. I cheated and went to go eat. You know what I'm saying? Just ate whatever I want. So I'm gonna celebrate this day.
80-20 rule, baby. 80-20 rule, man.
Yeah,
80-20
of course.
rule.
Of course. Man, so what's up, man? How you feeling?
Man, hey man, ready to go. Great. I'm always telling people how fortunate we are in this industry where when you're not so one-dimensional, you're able to, weekly, daily. The sports world gives us so much. It's the greatest reality show, period. And we get to, just when you think, okay, it might be a slow day, bam, some slap you. It's the beauty of sports, man. That's why I just really love what we do, man. Because day to day, you just don't know. You just don't know.
Yeah, I agree, bro. And like you said, you get to a point where you try not to take it for granted. You know what I'm saying? Because shoot, we blessed, man. As frustrated as we get in this industry, you're dealing with PRs and everything else, political stuff of media. But like you said, man, it's a lot of people that kind of wish they were in this position. And not just that, but just the fact that we're in this position, man. And like, I always say I never take it for granted. You know what I'm saying? So I feel you, bro. I feel you, man. But hey, we got a great show for you all, man. We are, y'all already know. I know everybody didn't talk the death out of it, but we got to talk about WNBA. We talk about WNBA every week, so it ain't like we, but
and we're not new to the conversation. The biggest problem with the W right now is so many new eyes, and everything is brand new to them. They just hadn't been here. They hadn't been in this space long enough to understand what's really happening in the league. And it's funny because the depth of their conversations is, it's like super shallow, like right. Bathtub, old school bathtub shallow, not the garden pool shallow, but just like
the little kid pool shallow.
Yes.
But you know what? I'll say this, then we'll talk about everything else. It's giving people an avenue and a platform to say what's on their heart, and they don't even watch the sport. That's all I gotta say. So that's all they're doing. That's all I got. We'll talk about that later. But anyway,
they be so left. I just be reading. I'm just like, man, that's a freezing cold take right there, my boy.
Yeah, they just.
But go off, dog. I ain't gonna hold you.
But anyway, man, what else we got? We got to talk about the NBA Finals, man. Finally. It starts tomorrow.
Christ. We should be at game 3 already. Like what are we waiting on?
Right, for real. But so we got finals, so we're gonna give our previews and our 3 cents, as we like to call it here, on what's going on. Then we got a celebrity coming on the show, man. We got Mr. Pat. If y'all don't know Mr. Pat Freeman,
shame on you.
You should know him. This guy has covered 24 Super Bowls. He covers the Buffalo Bills, and he has a book out, which we're going to talk about as well. But great guys, my mentor as well too. So cool. But we're gonna have Mr. Pat come on talk about the Buffalo Bills, man. We got to see what's going on with Josh Allen and that crew. It's a lot of changes happen for that team, not for the good. So we're going to see what's going on. And then, man, we got to talk. Major League Baseball, man.
Yeah, yeah.
Braves, Yankees. The, shoot, Ace. The American League Central is like crazy. I don't know what happened. I don't know what happened. That's I don't know. But
Wild time in the
yeah,
league.
yeah, it's a wild time for real. But we're gonna talk about that. Then we got Dr. Fowler coming in with the injury report, gonna ask him about some injuries and so on. Then we got quick hits. Of course, we got what's on my mind, stop it segment. So hey man, let your family and friends know you listen to the show live. Just go to the 3 Point Conversion Facebook page. Also go to the 3 Point Conversion YouTube channel. We're live. So hey man, let's get this going, man. First off, man, the first quick hit I got to talk about, man, is I'm gonna probably let you go off on this. The fact that the Lakers are zeroing in on that's the rumor on JJ Redick, like they're really saying like this might be our next coach. I'm gonna let you go, Mace, because bruh, I'm gonna
I
let you go,
mean,
dog.
did we not see this coming? I mean, LeBron was interviewing. They had that sham podcast, and it wasn't nothing but an interview. It was an interview for the job. This guy has zero coaching experience, and he is about to land one of the most historic jobs in the entire NBA. And it's just crazy because we always talk about processes and you know, you gotta be a bench coach, you gotta do this, you got, it's all of the steps you gotta take. And yeah, he played in the league, but I mean, still, it's so many other guys who had to just go the long route. And y'all can say what you want. This all Lebanon James. Lebanon James continues to and I'm gonna say this. Never again will we ever see a guy have this much power in the NBA. Whatever this guy wants done, it gets done. I mean, y'all can say what you want. He does GM duties. He hires coaches. He's HR. He is a one-stop shop.
Mm-hmm.
And listen, I'm not mad at him. He the face of the league. He's all of these different things.
Yeah.
So I mean, are we surprised that JJ Redick is set to become the head coach? We watched what they had like 3 or 4 weeks of the podcast. Wasn't nothing but an interview. LeBron was openly interviewing JJ Redick. Hey, prove to me that you competent enough to be on this bench. Prove to me that you can sit in seat number 1. And clearly he's proven it. And somebody tagged me today and like, so y'all act like that Jenny, and I was like, no, they don't.
No, they don't.
Nothing, they don't. Because if Jenny was really smart, she would take back hold of her franchise. As long as 2-3 is in the purple and gold, it's his organization. It's Rich Paul and LeBron. It's their Maverick. It's all of the gang. It's their organization, and they're gonna do what they want. So again, they're gonna hire JJ Redick. You don't think they're gonna draft Bronny? Y'all done lost y'all mind, man. Come on, like the writing been on the wall, but y'all do what y'all want, man.
So let me say this. I'm gonna go back on what you said about LeBron. You're right, and I think I said this last week. One thing about LeBron that he gets and that Jordan didn't do was he knows he's the face of the league. So LeBron is calling all shots, making everything happen because he can't. And in a sense, rightfully so, he didn't gave his whole heart and soul to the NBA for 19 years, still doing it, still work out, still come in. Not saying that Jordan did it too, but Jordan thing with Jordan, Jordan wasn't about that. I mean, it wasn't just the politics. It was I don't want to be on the camera. I don't want to do this. I don't want to use my power. All of that. I just think that LeBron understands that and
No
understands
doubt
his
about it.
power.
Yeah.
But I'll say this. I'll just say two. Well, I'll just say one name. I'll call it one name. Steve Nash. That's all I gotta say. Steve Nash. Now y'all might say Steve Nash was a toe away, but the difference between that team and this team is they don't have Kevin Durant. They don't have. Honestly, that team was put together very well. Honestly, that Brooklyn
They had a
team
big three. It had a
had a
big
big three,
three.
and they had the right. You had Joe Harris. You
Yeah.
had you had the right people coming off the bench, and the only thing is, like I said, this is LA. This pressure is far much worse than Brooklyn Nets.
Yeah.
Because you know why? Because the Brooklyn Nets was the second team. They weren't even the second team. They probably was the fourth team. No, fifth team in New York. LA is LA. LA Lakers is that's LA. I don't care what
Job one.
LA teams you got.
Job
Number
one.
one. Right.
Job one.
Right. And then you have LeBron James on your team. Come on, man. So it's and then you know how JJ is. I like JJ. I'm not gonna lie. I like JJ. I like how JJ rock, but JJ one of them cats that I guarantee you most of the time when he's texting, he start texting. You know what? Let me erase that. Because he about to go off and cut somebody. And you know, somebody, if the media say something wrong to him, you know JJ not holding his tongue. So it's gonna be entertaining. Because you know JJ don't hold his tongue for anyone. If JJ going on Stephen A. Smith's show and going off on Stephen A. Smith calling him out on his show, you already know what's gonna happen.
But he can call Stephen A. out because in everybody's mind, he technically has more pedigree than Stephen A.
True.
If LeBron, if they were sitting in a huddle and Darvin Ham drawing up a play, and LeBron basically wipes the board out. This is factual, everybody. You can check it. This happened.
Yep.
What y'all think he gonna do with JJ Redick? Try to draw up a play.
Now, I'm talking about as far as the media. When the media asking JJ questions, JJ's gonna snap back.
He gonna snap back, but we're already gonna understand once he takes this job that you're truly just a puppet. Like you are here just to shield off the obvious.
But will he take it like that?
In the beginning, he won't. But as the season goes, this is the worst thing that will happen because you're still bringing JJ Redick into a Laker team that's really not that good.
Right.
I mean, if we're really being honest, JJ Redick is not going to make this next version of the Lakers into a championship contender. So at some point in the season, everything gonna be like, well, I mean, they're not winning. Why did they hire this guy? What does he bring to the table besides being LeBron's guy? And at a certain point, like you said, now listen, we know how he snaps, but in him snapping, it's gonna be people gonna be looking at him like, bruh,
right?
We really know why. Like we know why you're here. Like we don't want to hear that, man. Like, dude, y'all not gonna win. Y'all play in, maybe. Early exit for sure. At what point in this new marriage does like LeBron throw him on the bus? LeBron throw everybody under the bus.
Mm-hmm.
You think you're gonna be different? Just because y'all did like 5 episodes of a podcast? Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, JJ Redick. Get ready.
Yeah, it's gonna happen. We're gonna see. So moving on, man. We got Christian McCaffrey getting a 2-year extension worth $38 million of them things. Yeah. Now, Mace, I think this is great. You got a lot of people hating. I mean, first of all, I don't see why you would think he's not deserving of it, but also I think the big picture is this sets the bar for running backs. I mean, a lot of people say, well, no, it's just him. No, that's not true. And what I mean setting the bar now, because you got what's my guy in the running back in New Orleans, number
Kamara.
41. Kamara's making 15 a year.
Yeah.
You know, so you got some running backs making some change.
Yeah.
But now you will get the good backs. Now they'll be able to get 12 to 15 a year. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because now the bar is 19. Bar is 19. If you can't, if you're not great at what you're not the second best running back, you might, you know, at first it was like you only getting 7 or 6. Now you might get 12 to 15 a year. So it sets the bar to where running backs get paid. And I said that before. They didn't win the Super Bowl, but my claim was in order for, and it still didn't happen, but in order for a running back to really get paid, that's what I was saying, that it's going to have to be a running back on a great team, and he's going to have to be the focal point on that team, and they get to the Super Bowl and win. It didn't happen, but I guess they're saying, well, he's playing for Shanahan. Maybe that's the thing. I don't know. Maybe that's why they like, he playing for Shanahan. That's why they're not getting to the Super Bowl. But other than that, for the most part, this is what you want. And he's done it consistently for the last 2 years after the injury. So that's all he needed. You need that spokesman, you know. NFL needed that Pat Mahomes. You know what I'm saying? They needed forget that. Justin Jefferson, what he getting? 90 million a year?
35 million a year.
35 million a year.
It's up.
And that's going to set the bar for, you know, like I know Tyreek said he was thinking about retiring. I can't see Tyreek retiring now. He's gonna get one more. He got to get one more bag. You got to.
Yeah, he get one more.
If you play for 2 years or one more year after your contract, you got to get. But now you're gonna see the chases, and you're gonna see all these other wide receivers that's supposed to be on top are getting there, make that money. CeeDee Lamb, did he get? He already signed.
He ain't got it yet. He ain't got it yet.
Yeah. So he's about to be next. If he has another year like he did last year, he might be next or might get more. Well, you know better than me. You a college.
Yeah, there's only gonna be one guy get more than Justin. That's Jamal. CD gonna probably get right in line a little bit below because he not better than Justin Jefferson technically, and plus Jerry ain't got the money to give CD that kind of money. So you know, whatever.
All right, then. I just wanted to talk about this, man. I don't know. You got Hulu?
Yeah.
You watched it down to Sterling?
I'm watching it. I'm big on sports drama. You know, as much behind the scenes as they can give. You know, I'm not a fan of the casting.
No, no.
They could did a better job with the casting, but I mean to tell the story. I mean and of course they got to embellish a little bit of it for Hollywood purposes because I mean they really want us to watch. But I mean this story just in itself was fascinating.
Yeah,
and how Donald Sterling was basically forced to give up his team, which is I mean I think. If you're an LA Clipper fan, you probably like this. Probably the best thing that could happen. But I'm in. Like I say, outside of the character, like just the casting, I try to ignore that. But I mean, I think it's great. I'm enjoying it.
Now, the two people I love the most, as far as casting, is doing a great job. I even think old girl doing a good job. That's playing. I think because she's getting on my nerves. The fact that she's getting on my nerves, okay, she's doing a good job because I'm not even liking her. Like I see her somewhere out, you know, I ain't gonna like her. You know, get out of my face, you bogus. You know, but so she's doing a good job. But two characters to me, I mean, I ain't gonna hate on Lawrence Fishburne. You know what I'm saying? Lauren's doing the best.
It's hard to hate on. It's hard to hate on.
It's hard. Yeah,
it's hard to hate on Morpheus. It's hard to hate on Morpheus.
You can't hate on Morpheus, but. I would say Donald Sterling, my man killing Donald Sterling.
Killing it.
That's Married with Children, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I thought. Okay,
Al Bundy.
That's what I thought. Ed is killing it, and his wife is killing it. I think his wife is playing the hell out of that.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
I mean, I never met her, but whatever she was, she making it believable.
Yeah.
Everybody else like Chris
And,
Paul.
and that's the good part about like when you cast it right, you know,
Yeah.
you get right because like you say, you're almost like, man, man, sick. So they're doing their job.
Right.
But yeah, like Larry Fishburne, man, I'm never gonna be mad at Larry Fishburne.
No.
I don't care what he playing, you know what I'm saying? So he's always gonna be good to me. And I mean, just he overdoing the doc mannerisms a little bit, but I get it.
Too much. He
Yeah,
got to.
but I get it. Like we know it's Doc. We know you Doc. Like you ain't gotta, you know.
He probably trying to save it because everybody else. Because Chris Paul, first of all, dog, and I don't even watch the show, but I happened to be one time in there with my wife and she was watching it. You already know what I'm talking about. This show, what's it called? Stripper show, whatever that. And dude, first of all, I was Chris Paul. No offense to dude, because hey, that's his job. He acting, but oh hell no, you can't play my part, dog.
Yeah.
You have, what's that show called? Peace something Valley, P Valley?
Yeah, P Valley, yeah.
That's the dude that be no, dog. You can't play my part.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, but still, it's hard to see him as Chris Paul. He's not, he's doing the best he can, but and then Blake Griffin, you too corny. Like Blake Griffin ain't that corny. I didn't been around Blake. I ain't talked to Blake.
Right,
Blake ain't corny. Blake don't even talk like that.
Nah.
He ain't corny like that. Like, come on.
And see therein lies the issue a lot of times because we're able to kind of be around some of these people, and you just like,
nah, they ain't.
They kind of missed the mark right there, but I mean, I get it. I get it. It's Hollywood. It's Hollywood.
Real quick, what's so fascinating about watching this is it's the first time in a minute where we're watching a documentary that kind of happened during the social media era.
Yeah.
So we're able to see what's going on. Like we know all this. Like so with Winning Time. That was some stuff you had to go Google. You know what I'm saying? You like
right. You like did that really
happen? Right. But I remember I had the show I started 3-point conversion. The show was called 3-point conversion presents Making a Cut. And we was doing show lives at barbershops. Well, not live, but we'll go at barbershops and we'll record and we'll put on YouTube. This is when nobody was doing it like that. We was in barbershops, and I remember it broke that Saturday, and we was like, yo, we got to do a show on this. And that was our topic for that. But I remember this. But other shows, like you said, you had to Google stuff and ask other old players, like, man, did that really happen? But this, I know about it. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, it's kind of fascinating. It's kind of taking you back. So that's dope, man. So
yeah. And like you said, that's a very good point. It's like it was in real time for us because it was like, and we were able to put 2 and 2 together like real fast, like that.
Yeah. It's some little stuff I didn't know it went down like that. As far as I know, she was just, I'm mad at you. So I knew she was kind of mad, but not like that. You know what I'm saying? That's horrible. But all right, man. Let's move on, man. We got to talk about the hottest sport right now in sports, which is the WNBA, and
dudes having full-fledged debates every day. I'm like, you wake up and dudes are really, I mean, the timeline is full of WNBA talk. So shout out to the W. Shout out to the W.
Hey, I put out, the company on the 3-point conversion Facebook page. If y'all not on it, y'all check the videos out. I'm talking about, not only am I getting 300K views on videos, I'm getting over 800. We almost 1,000 comments. That's why I turn my ringer stuff off, because it be going off every second.
Yeah.
It's crazy. But first of all, before we really get into it, like what happened and should have happened, whatever. But honestly, man, I think this is almost what the WNBA wanted.
No doubt about it.
Because it's the first thing on all these platforms on TV. It pretty much first thing we're talking about right now. Like you said, it's flooded.
Even they got red. Stephen A got red.
Oh my God, yeah, yeah. It's on CNN. You got Bob Costas talking about it, and like, wow. But yeah, this you got to say this is the best thing that happened to WNBA. This is what they wanted. Go ahead, Mace.
I mean, listen, again, dudes are in full-fledged arguments. I mean, this is what you needed to happen if you wanted the game to grow, if you wanted to get eyes on the game, because I mean, for so long, I mean, with league been what 25, 26 years, and you got the male audience now. Like, you have males undivided attention. Again, it's arguments every day, whether it's Twitter, whether it's Threads, whether it's Facebook. I mean, everywhere, every day, Caitlin Clark's name is mentioned. Angel Reese's name is mentioned. Oh, I was on a post the other day where folks like somebody posted a picture of Angel with, like, if you don't know who this is, you need to not even watch the W. So I mean, we're having all of these conversations now.
Yeah.
And this is so we all kind of said this is the year that the WNBA is going to prove that they understand marketing. This is their opportunity to, really turn a profit in a league that hadn't turned a profit. I mean, come on. We know that the NBA has been footing the bill for forever. But now these organizations, this is the first year where I think they're gonna be able to sit back and say, man, we in the black.
Right.
I'm thinking about the last couple of Atlanta Dream games as we're leaving. Usually by the middle of the third quarter, they've already shut down the merch department. Dude, people are leaving the game still, like, press conference over. They get ready to throw everybody out the building. The merch is still flying off the shelf. So I mean, it's telling you that the interest is here. I mean, even Mitchell and Ness is trying to ride the wave now. Mitchell and Ness just released a line of the women's Olympic team. All of their jerseys are now available. Swin Cash, Lisa Leslie, that whole Cheryl Swoops, Don Staley, like they're releasing those jerseys now. So I mean, like, everybody is understanding, like, hey, everybody, you better ride this wave. You better ride this wave. But can the WNBA, do they understand that, okay, now we got their attention. We need to hold their attention to Juju get here in 3 years. And now you really got this thing rolling. So I mean, shout out to the WNBA.
The only thing that could go just perfect is if they have it's not gonna happen, but if one of them could get to the finals this year, it's just like magic.
That ain't gonna happen.
You know what I'm saying? It's you're right, Jeremy. Said yet the polarizing Caitlin Clark is all people can talk about such a win for the WNBA. But he's right, man. It's been talked about more than the NBA right now. And you know what? So let's go into what happened, that situation. So it's so funny that love tap. I ain't gonna call it a love tap. It was wrong, but she bumped her. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't. It was wrong, but of course we know why they're making a big deal out of it.
Of course.
But I knew this was gonna happen, so she had to know this was gonna happen. And honestly, I mean, she said it was. She shouldn't have done it. The thing I liked about what Caitlin did, in that this is one thing I liked about what Caitlin did. When she got bumped, she fell down. She I ain't gonna say she flopped. She couldn't help but to flop, because when you're not looking for it, your body gonna go weird anyway. You know what I'm saying? Your head gonna go this way while your hip on the other side, your arm flailing that way. But when she got up and just like and kept playing. Yeah. One thing I give her and Angel, the fact that, because we talked about it last week, the way she did the who got the choke slam in wrestling? I don't know who has that move, but the way she got chokeslammed by Alyssa Thomas, I could have sworn the referee gonna get on the floor. 1, 2, the way she got chokeslammed, but Angel got up, clapped it off. It's what it is. You know what I'm saying? It's what it is. What I didn't like was last night the technical foul that Angel got.
Oh, it was trash.
And then she got thrown out.
Trash.
That was trash, bro.
Trash.
Shout out to Lonzo Ball, man, for taking care of her fine. I don't know if you saw that, but
yeah,
Lonzo,
they take that out of the check, Lonzo. So unless you just gonna give her
unless you gonna give it to her, right? You got it.
Yeah, that's coming out of her check, Lonzo. You know how that works, Lonzo.
So he probably gonna.
He was just looking for some retweets and mention because he ain't been on the scene so damn long. His dad, look, LeVar was like, "Hey, tweet some, tweet some. We back."
Said, hey, I'll pay $1,000 to go ahead and get some tweets and everything. I'll pay the
kids say, "Lonzo, that's cap."
Right.
That's cap. You weren't at the game, Lonzo. They put the camera on you, Lonzo. So that's cap, Lonzo.
Oh, right. So, what do you? So let's talk about the dream, man. Do you think? I mean, because right now, Dream is 4-3, right?
Yeah,
they're 4-3. So, right now, when do you think, or do you think they should make the change at point guard? No offense.
Last week.
No offense to my girl, Haley. That's my girl.
Haley,
that's not her position.
She's not a point guard.
Yeah, she's not a point guard. She's really doing this because they asked her to. She didn't play point guard in college. She was a shooting guard.
She was shooting guard. Yeah.
So and she's doing the best she can. No. Yeah. But you said last week. Do you think it's more of?
Get out of here.
Because I asked Coach last week because I did a story on Dangerfield, and I asked Coach about it. And she said she's still coming along. Then I asked Crystal herself, and she said, "Yeah, I'm still trying to get acclimated." So I get it, but I'm wondering. So I'll ask you, I know you said last week, but when do you think it's going to happen?
It needs to happen tomorrow when New York come to town, because Haley is playing 15 to 20 minutes and she's giving you 0 offensively. Like she scored 3 points on Sunday. Mm-hmm. That's she got to have the worst negatives in every league, whether it's a W, it's college, whatever. Her negatives are terrible. I mean, essentially it's 4-on-5. Like it was a couple times she had the ball Sunday. Dejanay was like, "Man, I'm not chasing her. Like, I'm just gonna fall down and wherever the ball go, I'm gonna go steal it or I'm gonna trap." Because now Haley, shoot it. We don't care, shoot it.
Yeah, just
and
shoot it.
Not even taking those shots, which tells you, like you just said, she's not comfortable. So, Coach, go on to make this change like immediately. Find a place for Haley to be comfortable. Because I mean, it's truly wasted minutes. Courtney comes in, it's a spar. AP comes in, it's big energy. We need that. Like, I mean, Haley could be like a 7th, 8th, 9th person. Yeah. Personally, if you ask me, because I mean, she just don't give us nothing. Nothing.
Right. No, you're right. I agree, and that's why I posed the question. I think the offense will get in. I mean, defensively, I understand with Haley because of her size, and you know, it can be intimidating to the other guards. Like you saw it. Honestly, you saw it when they beat Vegas because with the Aces, Dangerfield came in. She was 3 for 3 in that game.
Right.
Came in, bought out, and when she came in her minutes. But in the second half, she didn't play because Coach Tanisha, she saw this is bothering them. And she kept a big lineup the whole time.
Yeah. So plum, because Kelsey couldn't see.
Yeah, she could. So, and I don't know if that's where she's feeling like, okay, I don't understand. I don't know how to decipher between should I play defense or not. But I think that's what she's going through right now.
Yeah, but we got to score point. We can't. We're not scoring. And when our quote unquote best player is out here giving us 8 and 9 points a game,
right,
Brian Howard, like
right,
who we gonna beat? Who
yeah,
are we gonna beat? Like Ryan should be automatic 18 points. Should be, but she not. And that's one
and
of our biggest problems. And then coach was so frustrated Sunday after the game because she like, I was telling them the jump shots are not falling dry to the basket. And what do? We still shoot jump shots. And I want to just be like, Coach, well, clearly they ain't listening to you. Bench them. Because when she set the starters down, we got back in the game.
right,
Sit them down.
right,
But,
right.
you know, I know she had this thing for Ryan. Like, get out.
But hence, that's why you get another point guard, because when Crystal comes, it's not just that she's scoring, she's making it easier for the other scorers, putting in the right spot.
The ball,
offense running some better pace.
Moving. Right.
And that's what we're talking about. That's what we're talking about. Hey, I want to transition to the NBA Finals, man. We got the matchup. We got Dallas. We got Boston. You got a little bit of storylines. You got some storylines. You got the fact that Jason Tatum can't win. I mean, is he going to win? That's one. Man. And he came out and said he could feel pressure, which I was like, I mean, it's cool to say, sometimes, dog, you don't need to be honest. You know what I'm saying? You don't need to be honest, dog. Just say, give him the, hey, yeah, we're good. Political answer. No, it's not pressure. I mean, this is a game. It's what I love. Give them that. Because if you had some dogs, I don't know if Dallas has dogs on there like that, but you had some dogs in Dallas, they'd be talking mess right now. If Pat Bev was on Dallas, he would use that. Anyway, but then you got Porzingis playing against Dallas. You got Kyrie going back up against Boston. So you got some storylines, whatever.
Yeah.
But Mace, what you think? What do you think the keys are to the game, man?
First and foremost, dog, and I've been thinking about this since the finals. Like we got the matchup. Who the hell guarding Kyrie? I know Drew Holiday and old Derek White. I mean, they gonna get the task, but it's like, what can they do with Kyrie? Like, of course, Drew Holiday, we know Drew is a tough defender. He got that body, so he gonna probably shoot Kyrie a couple of elbows here and there. But that's to me, that's like job one. Can they get the ball out of Kyrie's hand and make somebody else have to initiate offense? Because as long as Kyrie giving you all that what he give, it's gonna be tough for White and Drew Holiday. Tough.
And then not just that, it's almost like how you had to do with Edwards in a sense, where it was like, all right, let him play Kyrie. All right, now he got to guard Luka. That's why he's so tired. It's like, how you gonna divvy that up as far as who does he guard and at what time does he guard? Because White is a good defender, but White can't guard no Kyrie, and White definitely ain't gonna be able to guard Luka. So Drew gonna have to play both at some point. But I think that's the favor or the that favors Dallas as far as having those two type of players in the backcourt where, it ain't like it used to be. You're not playing the Bulls where you had Jordan and Harper. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Jordan Pippen and Harper where you can switch off
gigantic
right.
backcourt.
Right. Or even with Golden State, because you had Clay when he was in his prime, Clay, and you had Draymond. You don't have that. No. Now they could stick your boy Jaylen Brown on Luka.
Yeah.
That
probably get some of that. Probably get some of that.
It could work.
Not all of it, because they need JB on the other end of the floor.
But I'm gonna tell you, to me, this is the X factor in this game, and I want your X factor as well. The X factor for Dallas in this series is going to be Tim Hardaway Jr. See, he couldn't play in that. It was nowhere for him to play because of his defense. He just didn't fit in that scheme, which is fine. Jason Kidd, he pulled a Rick Carlisle. Rick Carlisle is notorious for saying, hey, look, bro, we can't have you playing this game or in this series right now. It just don't, it's not that you're not with us no more just for the series
Right.
or game, whatever it is. But I think now you're going to see Tim Hardaway become that sixth man like he normally
Yeah,
was. And I
back in
think
the normal rotation.
because of the way Boston plays defense, he's going to get a lot of open shots. And I think he's going to be X factor. I see Tim Hardaway Jr. averaging 15 in this series, at least 15 a game.
I can see that too, but you know the other X factor, and now that we know for a fact he's gonna play Porzingis. 38 days that he's been out. This team has found a nice little rhythm. How do you insert him back in and get him the quality minutes and the quality shots? Because I mean, you think about it, White, Horford, all these guys been getting a lot of looks.
Right.
Does Missoula please get a haircut for this for the final? Please get a haircut. That's neither here nor there. Do you minute restrict them like hey 15? Then okay, let's see how he look. Then let's bump it to 20. Like this team has been in such a groove without him. Like it's almost like they're gonna have to learn how to play with him again. And I just think that's tough. Like I think you spot play him and you just find spots for him, but like just trying to pick up where he left off, I just don't think that's a good strategy. I don't think that's a good strategy.
It's not. And like Dr. Fowler said last week, you're gonna have to play him in what he's gonna have to play in spurts. Like you don't want to start playing him heavy minutes,
right?
Right off just because he's rusty and you want to make sure he's good. But where it does favor Boston with bringing Porzingis is, yeah, you can go back to how they played in the regular season.
Yeah.
But I'm pretty sure Boston has been playing differently, which they have been in the postseason. So just can't. You don't know how they're going to insert him.
Right. And by the way, everybody, they 30-5 without Porzingis. Once he went down there, they're 30-5.
Right.
So they got a nice groove and rhythm without the 7-2. Yeah, people try to hear sharp shoot. I'm like, all right.
He can shoot. He can shoot.
He ain't no damn shot. They talking like he's Steph or something. Like, okay.
And then to me, it might mess up their rotation. I mean, of course, you want Porzingis because he's going to help you out, no doubt. But these cats got in the groove. You know what I'm saying? All these players coming off the bench, they didn't came and played, and they got in the groove. So, I mean, does this mess up the rotation? Does this mess up the spacing, even with your starters? Because you're so used to guarding these guys. Now, to me, it's going to be a harder guard for Dallas bigs or they forward live bodies, as I call them, because I mean, Horford is more savvy, and Horford he'll bang down low. Cat ain't banging down low.
Nah.
Cat ain't banging down low. Then like with Porzingis, you didn't see Rudy play up top or play just behind the free throw line.
Right.
Above the free throw line. Rudy wasn't playing it, so it's gonna be a difference as far as guarding them. They're gonna be more offensive minded. Where we didn't see Cat get offensive minded until the last two games.
Yeah.
So but these cats, they're gonna shoot the three, they're gonna do this, they're gonna do that. But let's tell the truth and shame the devil, bro. Because I like to say that. We like to do that here on the show. Did Boston just get lucky by getting here?
So we telling the truth. We're telling the truth
and shame the devil. Yep.
I don't ever remember a team coming out of either conference where the main guy in every series got hurt. I've never seen that. The leading guy for every squad went down. Like, where they do that at? A role player go down?
You might get a star every now and then, but
like
from
out
Giannis,
for the series,
Milwaukee, you had Giannis, Dame. Then the last game,
Halliburton.
even Giannis, Dame, and oh God, I can't think of his name. Who the
Old
small
school.
forward?
Old
Yeah,
school.
yeah, you know what I'm talking about. Yeah. He went out.
Bobby Portis.
No, not Bobby Portis.
Ugly Buddy, one number 22.
Yeah, 22, small forward. Yeah,
Middleton.
Middleton when he got hurt last game. Then in the Knicks, OG, and then you had the point guard from New York, my man.
Bronson was hurt. Everybody was hurt.
Then, like you said, even when they played Cleveland, Donovan got hurt.
No Donovan Mitchell. Donovan Mitchell over there with the Dwayne Wayne glasses on. Come on, man.
Oh man. And then of course, Halliburton get hurt. So all I'm saying is they got lucky, bro. Now this is the only team that they're playing now that's not hurt.
Yeah.
Right. So we're going to see. And not saying that Boston's not good enough to win is, again, when everybody main guy before you face them or whoever or the team that you could have faced,
cakewalk.
It's cakewalk. And my problem was, and true enough, you say, well, Porzingis was hurt too. Yeah, you're right. Porzingis is out. Yeah. But still.
But the big two were there.
But here's the crazy part. After every game they got hurt, the game was difficult. They struggled to win.
Yeah.
They struggled to beat Cleveland when Donovan was out. Yeah. And they struggled to beat Indiana when Halliburton was out.
Because they let everybody in the game. You're always going to be in the game. I can't stress that enough. You're always going to be in the game with Boston. Always going to be in the game with Boston. Always.
Never fails.
Ain't even up for debate.
Never fails. So, man, before we bring in our guest, man, I want you to, I'll start it off. I'm going to give my what's on my mind. And this is what's on my mind. This is the time where we like to just talk about just stuff that, this, what I'm saying? Let me let some off my chest. You know what I'm saying? Just some stuff, whatever. So, what I've been kind of thinking about, and we talked about this earlier with LeBron James saying that he wished Kyrie was, well, I don't know if we said it, but he said he wished Kyrie was playing. He wished he could be teammates with Kyrie. Bruh. LeBron, I know you the man. I know right now you're in charge of the NBA. Great as you are. If anybody had even started to believe that, and I know you were giving them a compliment, but if they started to believe that you were, you know what, he just, it's not that he wants the best. He always want to play with the best person. He's just, he's just that guy. Like he wants the right team. You killed that dog when you said that. Really? When that joker, hell, I wish I'd kill if he could be on my team. Golly, dog. You want Luka too, don't you? You want Luka LeBron? You want Jason Tatum? Who else you want, dog? Like, LeBron, come on, man. Just when that stuff was kind of chilling down, like, was kind of like, all right, it's, you know what I'm saying? You were kind of forgetting about it. You say that. It's like, oh, my God. Now the rumors have started him going to Dallas or whatever, But I'm just saying, man, like, LeBron, man, you can't play with everybody. That's great. That's not the whole point of this. The whole point is to beat the best, not to get everybody to be the best. So you got super team and you
AAU mentality, dog. AAU mentality.
It's
Yep.
AAU. It's a difference. I'm glad you brought that up because it's a difference between AAU and playing blacktop. And I
Yep.
say that to say blacktop, yeah, you choose your team and you choose you gonna run with me. But for the most part, people already got their teams together, or you going
Yeah.
against a team that just won. So, it's not, but AAU, you playing with all stars and superstars. That's it. And it's you can't hide behind nobody or anything like that. And that kills me, man. It's like when he said it was just like, here we go. And people want to talk about the big three started that. I think the big three in Boston started the okay, it's possible to get three Hall of Famers, are great players, or big time players, and they can play together. Not play like, oh, we could play together, like we could be on the same team, but they can actually play together. Because for a moment, that didn't seem like that could be, because you won't be able to picture Shaq, Jordan, and Malone playing with, because like who's gonna shoot the ball?
Right.
Who everybody we saw the dream team, but I mean that was a dream. They was playing, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. They're
That was
playing.
that
They're
was
playing with
yeah,
nobody. A bunch of nobodies. Yeah.
right. But you didn't think you couldn't see three heavy, three main players, great future Hall of Famers playing with each other. You couldn't see that. So Boston created that narrative that can happen. But I always say LeBron was the first to really start the super teams. To me, that wasn't a super team. That was just the big three, because everybody was traded and
Yeah.
all of that good stuff.
Right.
The super team was, let's get together and let's
Yeah.
play. And then
And real quick,
right.
people forget about that Boston team too. KG wasn't in his prime.
No.
Ray Allen game
Nope.
had totally changed. They didn't get Milwaukee. They didn't get Milwaukee. Ray Allen.
Right.
He
Right.
he reinvented his game. So
Right.
LeBron went to Miami. Prime LeBron, prime D Wade, prime Chris Bosh.
Bosh.
And then they had the pep rally that they gonna win like 8 titles. Like, yeah, okay, yeah. I mean, like, y'all brought all that attention to yourself. So I mean,
But
yeah,
again,
I feel
he did it again. Yeah, come on, dog. But anyway,
you.
like I said, that was on my mind, bro. Just looking at that, it's just like, here we go again.
Yeah.
Go ahead, dog. What you got?
Hey, listen, we live in high school football in the state of Georgia. It probably gets no bigger, maybe only in Texas, Florida, and California.
Mm-hmm.
We live in a society where we mock and we follow the leader. Everything is copycat. Transfer portal in college has now trickled down to the transfer portal in high school.
Mm.
The only problem is parents. Parents, listen. You guys are going to have your kids ineligible because y'all don't understand the GHSA rules. You can't just pick up and transfer your child to this school because 5 of his 7-on-7 guys are on that team. It don't work like that. Everything has to be a bona fide move. You have to physically pick up and move your family. You have to buy a home in another area. You have to rent a home in another area. I know 2 kids, highly recruited kids, who are about to miss their senior season of high school football simply because they just think that there's no rules. I can just up a transfer. One kid, his only option is going to have to be to play private school football. He can't even go back to the school he started at.
Mm.
So parents, and I listen, I never blame the kids because kids do what the parents allow. Parents, please understand this. Your child is not going to get rich on NIL in high school. It's only probably 3 kids in America who can benefit from NIL. Nobody's getting rich in high school off NIL. Leave your child where he is and let your child develop. That's the part we're missing. Develop the athlete. We're in this age where everybody wants to be on a stacked team. Why?
Mhm.
Develop where you are. We're losing this sense of community, and it's one of the main reasons I got out of coaching. I remember Paul coaches would always ask me, "Why you come to our games?" Because you don't have no kids that live in our neighborhood. Y'all going to pick up these kids, and in
Right,
4 years when it's time for them to come to high school, they're not coming to us because they
right,
they live in Decatur, they live in Buford, they
right.
live in damn Swanee. So parents, let's get back to developing our athletes. Let's get back to a sense of community. You got to belong somewhere. Y'all got to stop bouncing around because the more y'all bounce around, you're gonna be homeless. You're gonna be like a nomad. Like when it's time to come back 10 years for homecoming, 20 years, you done went to
Mhm.
4 high schools. What homecoming you going to?
Right.
Like it's sickening and it's maddening. And because I'm so close to high school football and parents, y'all don't listen. Now y'all calling me at the last second. You like, well, you can't do nothing now. Can't do nothing now. Let's see if you can afford that tuition at Woodward Academy or Landmark or Pace. You probably can't, but I'm just saying you're doing this to your kid. We got to stop, man. We got to stop, man.
Yeah, we gotta stop, man.
I had to vent on that, man, because
I,
it's starting
I'm
to get
with you, dog. I'm
starting to
with you. I'm with you, and that makes sense because every like you said, everybody's trying to let me take them to this school, let me do this, let me pair them, and kids more so want to pair. No, like you said, you would want to be with somewhere where you the only person balling or whatever. You're gonna get
get.
looks like that. This is common sense.
Raphael, we have 4-star kids who are on the verge of committing. They transferring like, dude, how much more attention do you want? Like, you're the guy at your school. Why are you transferring to this powerhouse where you're just gonna be another guy?
Right.
You're already the guy at your school.
I get it. I get
It's
it,
crazy.
man.
These some wild times we in, dog. Some wild times. Wild times.
All right, y'all. We're gonna take a quick break, man, and we're gonna bring in our guest, Mr. Pat Freeman. Can't wait. We'll be right back.
It's your boy Boost, and y'all keep it locked in. You got me on the 3-point conversion radio. Let's go. Bro, a lady told me the other day, she say, Boost, you have put that Louisiana seasoning in Atlanta, Georgia.
Those are facts.
The lady, I was cracking up because at the last game we covered last week, Boosie was, he was on the court. Some lady came from all the way on the other side of the court and started dancing with Boosie, and he didn't care. He dancing with her
Because he's having a good
Yeah.
time, and
Man,
he's
that's what we need.
understanding that.
And I was
what we
telling
need.
somebody that the other day, they were like, why do you be dancing? I was like, I'm from Louisiana. Everybody dance everywhere they go.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, if you go to the club in Louisiana, the DJ dance and I'm the type, when I go to a party, when the girl popping in the middle of the floor, I get behind.
Right. That's
You
me.
know what I'm saying?
That's what we do.
That's me. Yeah.
That's me, bro. I ain't, when I came to Atlanta, it was more like a fashion show.
Right.
Everybody get clean
Yep.
and just
Yep.
Bro,
That's not
bob
me.
their head, and that ain't me.
That ain't me either.
I'm getting behind you. You climb the wall. I'm trying to climb the wall with you. And hey, they needed my sauce in Atlanta. Bro.
Yeah, bro.
And I love it.
Shout out to my guy Boosie, man.
Wild boy, man. Wild boy right there, man. Wild
Oh
boy.
man,
I seen Boosie got pulled over by Palmetto police about 2 days ago.
again.
Yeah, man. But like I say, I think they let him go. I think he was in a different car. So I think once they realized, my thing like, dog, y'all ought to have all his tags like on file. It'd be like, all right, just let him just let him ride, man. He like 2 minutes from the house, man. Let him go, man. Y'all stop pulling Boosie up on 29. Cut it out.
Right. All right, man. We got a special guest, man. This guy does everything, man. Author, journalist, Man covered 24 Super Bowls, man. And also covers the Atlanta. I'm tripping. The Buffalo Bills, and is the author of this book, Maximizing the Big Game. Make sure y'all get it. It's a great book. Great book. He even mentioned me in there. I couldn't believe it.
Hey,
My guy, Mr. Pat Freeman, my mentor, Mr. Pat Freeman. What's going on, Pat?
Hey, how you doing? What's up, Maceo?
my guy, what's up, buddy?
Hey, I got a message for you from Buffalo, man. Mayor Brown said hello. Let him know when you come to town. Stop by City Hall. You know everybody. He said, make sure you tell Maceo. Make sure he stops by, check me out next time he's in Buffalo.
Look, if y'all don't know, Maceo knows everybody. And so real quick, just tell this quick story. When we were in Las Vegas covering the Super Bowl, so we all got together. You know, we all flew in together. So we were all together that day, and I kept telling Pat, I said, "Hey man," I said, Maceo knows everybody. He on the phone with. First, he was on the phone with one of the former Denver Broncos player. We were just talking about him. Then he on the phone with somebody else. He knows this guy. And then we get to we live in Atlanta. We go to Vegas. We're in a restaurant in Vegas, and we sitting there. Somebody, what's up, Mace? How you doing? Somebody in Vegas knew who he was, and oh man, how you? It was like, and I told Pat, I said, see, Pat was like, he does know everybody, doesn't he? So that's why he said,
what are the odds, man? What are the odds?
Oh my god! But anyway, Pat, how are you doing, man? You doing good?
I'm doing great, brother. Doing great.
Good.
You know,
so,
trying to get this book out here.
Oh yes, sir. Look, we want to jump. We gotta jump right into it, man. I gotta ask you. You in Buffalo, you cover the team. With everything that happened in the off season, with the team, basically, but the offensive side of the team. Will we see Josh Allen? Can he stay Josh Allen, or will we see him revert back to what we saw before Dabo and Diggs and all of them came to Buffalo?
Well, I think they got some good young talent. That's the thing. We're going to see how it develops during training camp and the preseason. But I'm pretty impressed with some of the things the Bills have done, believe it or not. A lot of the guys that they released should have been released last year. You know what I'm saying? Mitch Morris, you got bonus points out of Mitch Morris. One more concussion, Mitch Morris is done. 6 years out of Mitch Morris. And quiet as it's kept, in the big game, Stephon Diggs was never a factor. Never. Kansas City always seemed to take him out the game. And I think it's going to be interesting to see what happens with that new offensive coordinator, Brady, because I felt after he took over the game, if you look at Diggs' stats, they went downhill. And they just were not mixing. And also the Bills took Dalton Kincaid last year. Dalton Kincaid started struggling when Dawson Knox came back from injury. So it's going to be interesting to see how they do with this 12 personnel package they've been trying to do. So defensively, I like all the moves the Bills have made other than signing a wrestler, and he might end up being, come on. I mean, these are stunts. But I think the Bills still have a very good football team. Josh Allen, we're going to have to watch that offensive side of the ball. You still have a very good offensive line. Those guys out. The only change you're going to see is Mitch Morris and Connor McGovern move over to the center. But I think you still got a good offensive line who have a very crazy offensive line coach, Comer, He's out of control, but he's a very good coach. Very good coach. He's a crazy man, but he's a very good football coach. But I think the pressure is more going to be on Brady because Brady didn't do well in Carolina.
Yeah.
Basically got fired out of Carolina. He came to Buffalo, and a lot of the mistakes that Josh Allen was making prior to Brady, he didn't make. But there's certain aspects of that offense that did not seem to show up in the playoffs, even though they won one playoff game. But they got into the divisional round against Kansas City, and man, it looked like the same script. You can't beat Mahomes. You just can't beat him. And I think McDermott was getting so frustrated that's when he did that ugly fake punt that looked like it was drawn up on an outside, cardboard box. Yeah. It was awful. He ran it to DeMar Hamlin. And, they're just going to have to make it's going to be interesting. And I think the biggest adjustment is going to be McDermott because McDermott has made some very bad decisions when you needed your head coach to make some great decisions during crunch time.
Mm-hmm. Pat, let's talk about the darling, the rookie sensation so far, Keon Coleman. He's been a breath of fresh air for the organization so far. Everything he does goes viral. Just talk about the immediate impact of Keon in Buffalo so far.
Man, he's just a very nice young man, and the person that really got him to go viral was Mookie Hawkins from WFO Radio. I think y'all met Mookie in Miami, but it was Mookie that asked that relevant question. And the funny thing about it, that's why you need guys like yourself that understand the life experience of these young people. Mookie comes from the same, we from the hood. We buy our clothes during the off season, so you get it cheap. Right. I mean, the other people in the room, they didn't know nothing about that. They're like, "Oh, it's a good time to buy clothes." He's like, "No, you're gonna pay more then."
Right.
He's funny, man. He's funny, and I don't know if you heard, the Bills are trying to bid on the 2028 draft, and I just can't see it. They're talking about because they have a new stadium. There's nothing out there. Nothing. Yeah. There are no hotels.
There's wings. There's some wings.
So it doesn't even fit. Downtown Buffalo would be a better place for the draft, but to try to put it in a stadium would be a disaster.
So you spoke of McDermott. There's been a lot of people. Now, I'm not in Buffalo, but we have Bills fans in Atlanta. You meet them everywhere, and you see on social media they've been calling for his head and so on. And like you stated, got rid of a lot of people that you should have got rid of. But will that stop now, or do you see that happening after this year? Well, not just players, but with coaches, whether it's the head coach, he's got rid of offensive coordinators, what so have you, even management. Like, what do you see as far as maybe, I don't want to say starting over, but kind of rebuilding just from the top down?
Well, I think it's starting more with ownership because you got 25% of the team is up for sale. He turned over 25% of the team to his daughter, Laura. And I think Laura is going to be the person really being groomed to take over the franchise, or they bring in this other person at 25%, which will be the heir apparent because Mr. Pagula is now 72 years old. So, I think McDermott is – see, what people don't realize from out of town, and you got a lot of people saying, fire McDermott, fire McDermott. McDermott, if you fire McDermott, you got to start totally over. Totally. He runs the entire football operation, not just the coaches. He runs the scouting department. He runs the entire football side of the ball. And when he took over as head coach, the Bills were worth about $1 billion. He's won 6 out of 7 years he's gone to the playoffs. The Bills are now worth $3.7 billion, about to get a new stadium, and people are talking about firing McDermott. If I'm Pagula, I'm living large. You know what I'm saying? He paid 1.4. The team's worth 3.7. So if you're going to fire McDermott, tell me who you're going to bring in that's going to get you to the playoffs 6 out of 7 years. The last time you did that, you fired Wade Phillips, and you had went to the playoffs 8 out of 9 years with Marv Levy and Wade Phillips. Right. You fired Wade Phillips, and you don't go back to the playoffs for 17 years. So I don't know who wants to fire McDermott, but it's not me because I'm having fun going to all these playoff games. That I have not seen. Yeah, since Doug Flutie was the quarterback. You know? Right. Come on, man. Right. This is some good stuff. But I know everybody wants to win a championship. That's the only thing McDermott has not done. He's gotten you to the AFC Championship game. He's not gotten you to the Super Bowl. He's had some very, very good teams that should have at least made a Super Bowl. I thought that they gave away that Kansas City game because McDermott basically took over the defense and screwed up the defense, mixed up the players, and allowed Mahomes to get down the field in 13 seconds. So, you know, people were going crazy here after Tyler Bass missed that field goal. That was totally on McDermott. We went down to the field after the game, and McDermott told us that Tyler Bass is pulling the ball to the right. Right? Now, y'all are football guys. If he's pulling the ball to the right, the play before should have moved the ball to the left hash mark. Exactly. Am I right?
Yep. Stop making sense. Stop making sense.
Where does he kick the ball? From the right hash mark. And then you tell us in post game, well, he's pulling the ball to the right. Well, you didn't want Mahomes to get the ball back anyway because you were going to give him 1 minute and 53 seconds, and he beat you with 13 seconds before. Go figure. But Tyler Bass, they wanted to throw his dog out the window after the game. I mean, y'all need to ask McDermott, what are you thinking about? It's his strategic thought process when you need a coach to make those decisions. And now he wants to call the defense. He's up there looking at film when he needs to be strategically making decisions. And I don't agree with him calling the defense. He's just not that good. I'm like, dude, you need to be a head coach and you need to improve upon being a head coach. That's the biggest problem with the Buffalo Bills. Is he a good coach? Absolutely. He's going to give you a competitive football team. But can he get you over the hump is the biggest question here.
Pat, I got to ask you this because perception is everything. You have a quarterback in Buffalo who is nationally perceived one way. Tell the outside world what we're missing about Josh Allen.
Well, Josh, I got to give Josh a lot of credit because if you remember his early years, he was off. People were saying he ain't going to make it. Yeah. But the guy put the work in. He put the work in hard. And you can tell he put the work in. He has to continue to put the work in. The problem with Josh Allen is every once in a while, Josh Allen going to throw you up one.
Oh, yeah.
When he shouldn't do it. He makes, and then he gets down on himself during the game, can't do it. You know, and then he was dealing with Step Diggs. I kept telling people, y'all know who Step Diggs was when you brought him in here. Step Diggs, all about Step Diggs. Step Diggs got paid. He got a new car. He was on his best behavior till y'all let him sign his name on that new contract, guaranteed $73 million of it. Step start acting a fool again after that. And then he forced you to get him out of there when he had $31 million more guaranteed that you got to pay him. So Step is still going to be very grateful to the Buffalo Bills for this year. And they did the same thing with Marcel Darius. They've made some bad decisions. And some of it's McDermott. And McDermott runs the show Bean is supposed to be the personnel guy, but Bean and McDermott brought in a 34-year-old Von Miller, gave him a $123 million contract.
Stuck with
And
it.
Von can't play no more. He can't. He's 35. You know what I'm saying?
I was
And
shocked.
a 35-year-old player, don't get me wrong, a 35-year-old player usually can still play, but they get hurt.
He just came off that injury, remember?
Yeah, he just came off the ACL, and they played him 12 games last year. He was god awful, awful, awful. And he's a shell of himself. But he's 35. What do you expect?
Right. So when now, you know, like you said, it's, you have a younger team, you like the talent. We talked about the offensive side of the ball. Defensively, what should we expect from this Buffalo Bills team? Like, because even though from outside looking in, watching games, even the offense was the team, but it seemed like the heart of the team was always the defense.
Definitely.
Defense always came in and made that big play. So what do you expect from this team now from the defensive side of the ball this year?
We got to see if Matt Milano can come back healthy. He still hasn't been cleared. He got injured in London, and Matt Milano at the time was all pro, and he was about to light the league up. That guy, he's a horrible interview now. You don't want to interview him because you might as well be interviewing somebody on Rocket Ship 7. But he's a heck of a player. I think Greg Russo is starting to come into his own a little bit. I love Greg Russo. He's got the long body. And I think Ed Oliver probably had his best season. He was a little pissed off with PFF. They had him ranked number 22 out of defensive linemen. And I thought that was a little slap in the face. Ed was pretty consistent last year. And I think Ed Oliver is going to be your key in the middle. He had a very good year. They bring him back Daquan Jones, and they still have a very, very good defense. And one thing you've got to look at is that Brandon Beane has done well in the 4th through the 7th rounds of the draft. His last 2 starting cornerbacks have been 7th-round picks. So that's when he's done his best work. And I'm expecting the Bills to be just as competitive. They've got 2 very good tight ends, a good offensive line, and I think Cook is coming into his own. And they brought in a couple other guys that can make plays. They got some speed. I don't like those little Smurf receivers, but some of them can make plays. But Keon Coleman, I think, is a very good receiver in space. He kind of reminds me a little bit of that Jerry Rice type factor. Jerry didn't never have great speed, but he understood where he was on a football field.
Right.
And I've never seen Jerry Rice get run down. He was just a great player. But I think the Buffalo Bills still have a very, very good and competitive team. But I think it's going to come down to them and the Miami Dolphins in the AFC East. And whether or not the Jets and their old quarterback can be competitive will be interesting. He only made 1 series last year.
Was that a whole series?
I think it was, 2 plays? He just didn't make it. But in the AFC East, I look at the Bills and the Dolphins again. Okay. Dolphins have great speed. They're going to be a problem. But the Bills, I think, still are going to be very, very competitive. Josh Allen has come a long way. Okay. I think he still has room for improvement, but he has come a long way since those first couple of years here. And he's become one of the elite quarterbacks in the league. But there's so many elite quarterbacks in the AFC. That's going to make it a very, very difficult pull for him this year.
Pat, because I always say that, I'm like, listen, if Pat Mahomes went in the AFC, who knows?
Absolutely.
Who knows?
Bills would have made at least one or two of those Super Bowls without Pat Mahomes.
Hey, it's almost like Bulls and Knicks with Jordan and Ewing. If Jordan went in
Absolutely.
finals, Jordan would have been in. So I get it. Pat, before we let you go, man, we got to talk about this book, man. I'm holding back. I'm sorry. Maximizing the Big Game.
Yes, sir.
It's a great book. I read it. I love it. I learned a lot from it just by reading it. But just quickly, can you just give us?
You guys were going to see Jimmy Kimmel, and I was stuck finishing my book. That's when I put you in there, you know. So Maceo, he knows everybody. Hey, I got you on the guest list. And Jimmy Kimmel, no, I got to write a book. You get to have fun because everybody knows Maceo.
So we had the ticket. We had to
I
give you
know.
a ticket.
And then the
We had to
next
give you a
day,
ticket to some dude who got clown.
Right.
and we're at the tasting at the stadium eating lobster and everything else. Maceo knows the whole chef staff in there. You good? Yeah, I'm good. You know. But the book, I finished it up Super Bowl week, and it's about my 24, aspects of the 24 Super Bowls that I've covered. I can't use that term Super Bowl because the NFL have copyrighted the name. So I went out and copyrighted Maximize the Big Game just so I can do that. So the book is about my experiences at the Super Bowl, meeting young people like yourself, trying to make sure that your experience is easier than mine was, because mine was brutal when I first started the Super Bowl. I didn't have anybody to tell me what direction to go or what to do. And I've always thought that if I did anything during my career, I was going to make it easier for guys like yourself and many of the others. And, Darrell Ledbetter winning Pro Football Writer of the Year. Hey, think about it. A whole group of us together, we've got 10 votes that voted for him. Mm-hmm. So those are things we have to keep doing. We got to keep bringing people in. And that's what the book is about, because some of the things that we are privileged to see and to be in rooms, some people just dream about that. I mean, it's nothing for us to see Emmitt Smith or Cam Newton. Of course, Maceo and Cam Newton are boys and stuff. I'm looking at the video of Cam Newton with that situation. Who on the side? Maceo on the side trying to break up the fight.
No, I got out the way. I got out the way.
Trying to break the fight. So I'm like, man, this guy is everywhere. I mean, after a while, you just go see him on music videos, Glorilla. I know you and Glorilla are good. You and Megan Thee Stallion are friends. But we just try to put our experiences in print. I'm going to end up writing a book about my experience knowing Maceo, And one other thing, too, we both have interviewed Deontay Wilder over the years. And I met Deontay Wilder 10 years ago, and it's just so funny in this field. You meet these guys, you get to know them, you interview them, and then there's a time frame where they got to know when to say it's over. And Deontay Wilder, I had talked to you about that before. When I first met him was right after he beat Stavern. He was at the Super Bowl in Phoenix. And, man, that was one of the best interviews I ever had. He was hungry still, but when he told me he was 29 years old, I said, that's a factor. I said, this guy's just getting going. He's only 29. And then you start watching his career, and I just didn't see the progression. It was like, I got to get this one punch in to win this fight. And that type of strategy can be a recipe for disaster when you get in to the ring with a guy that's a boxer who understands that, hey, this is going to be you ain't going to get that one punch on me. And I just hated to see what I saw the other day with Deontay Wilder, because he's such a good guy,
Well, let me end it with this. I'll just say this. It had to happen for him to understand that, hey, it's time to go. And this might have been the shot that told him, yeah, it's over, because he got embarrassed. It was embarrassing. I can't. Hard for me to watch it. So it was definitely
especially when you know these guys, and
it's
you were on ESPN with them in Miami before the fight, and
I remember he showed his love, and
he was a good guy, and he still is.
Still a good guy.
I wish he will move over to the commentating end of it.
Oh yeah,
and leave the fight game. And you've seen that time after time with players. I don't think they realize that time just keeps moving, and that ability is just going to start getting lower and lower and lower, especially in football.
Undefeated for all the time, undefeated.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Well, all right, Pat, man, we got to let you go, bro. But we appreciate you for coming on, man. Make sure, again, y'all get the book.
Hey, Maceo, make sure you call the mayor, and because he won't think I gave you the message.
I would listen. Let me tweet him right quick. Let him know it's all good. I got it.
I know he's in your Rolodex.
I got it. I'm just gonna send him a tweet.
I even saw Maceo down there. They had a water main break. He's down there with Mayor Dickens trying to settle the difficulty. I'm like, this guy know everybody.
Funny story. Andre did go to my rival high school.
I knew it.
Every chance I get, I give him HE double hockey stick. So yeah. Yeah.
All right, Pat, man. We're gonna have you on all throughout the season. So get ready for that. Man.
Anytime.
Right,
appreciate you having me on. And please buy my book. Amazon, Barnes and Nobles, Target. Go to my website, patrickhfreeman.com. It'll tell you where to get it. Please support us poor, struggling authors. We're not like Maceo. Maceo know everybody.
All right, y'all. We're going to take a quick break, and we will be right back. We got Dr. Fowler coming on next. All right.
Have a sports injury? Need to see an orthopedic doctor? Ortho Atlanta is one of Metro Atlanta's largest orthopedic and sports medicine practices, providing orthopedic and sports medicine care for the whole family. With 37 physicians and 14 offices, the practice provides the highest level of care for injury of muscles, joints, bones, and spine. Ortho Atlanta offers convenient access to a full range of musculoskeletal surgeons and specialists. Ortho Atlanta also offers on-site physical therapy, pain management care, MRI imaging, and workers' compensation care. The Ortho Atlanta surgery centers in Austell and Fayetteville provide cost-effective, same-day surgical procedures in an accredited outpatient center. Hip, knee, shoulder, back pain? Ortho Atlanta has you covered with specialists in all areas. Same-day appointments, orthopedic care for the whole family. Ortho Atlanta, Atlanta's choice for orthopedic and sports medicine care. Learn more at www.orthoatlanta.com.
All right, we are back inside the 3-Point Conversion Sports Lounge, and it is time to bring on family. We got the cousin, orthopedic for Ortho Atlanta, Dr. Donnie Fowler III. My God, how's it going today, sir?
Doing well. How you guys doing?
Good. Doc, we gotta lead with something that we wouldn't normally lead with when it comes to injuries. Novak Djokovic. My guess is Djokovic or Djokovic? It's Djokovic.
Yeah.
Djokovic. French Open suffered a torn meniscus, and of course he's out. But Doc, I wanted to ask you, do you think he will be able to come back to play for Wimbledon?
Yeah, I think it's going to be tough. I mean, my guess is it's probably just a cleanup, not like a repair where you're looking at probably 4 to 6 weeks on average, but Wimbledon starts in basically a month. So, at his age, even though he's, still, most people still consider him probably, I mean, he's ranked number one and has more title Grand Slams than anyone. He's definitely, I'd say, the GOAT, close with Nadal and Federer, but I think he now has the most wins of all and is still playing where those other guys' injuries finally got to them. I hope this is not the beginning of the end for him, but I'd be surprised to see him at Wimbledon in 4 weeks. I think he probably ends up having to skip that too, rehabbing, and probably looking more towards like the U.S. Open later in the summer as his kind of next priority. Also, actually, he's big. I read something. He's big into the Olympics too, in Paris, which is in later July, and he's never won a gold medal. He's obviously won all these Grand Slams, but he's actually come out and said he really wants to win a gold medal, and this could be his last best shot.
Yeah.
So I could actually see him bailing on Wimbledon and hopefully trying to be ready for Paris and the Olympics kind of later in July, and then the U.S. Open in August.
Hold on, Mace. Quick question. So it has to be a difference. I think you said because they have to go clean it up, but how in the world, and I ain't trying to rag on my guy, but he just tore his meniscus, what was it, yesterday or something like that? A few days ago?
A couple of days. He tore it in the match
and Wimbledon is with less than a month. You're talking about 4 to 6 weeks. It's my dog. But Derrick Rose tears meniscus, and this joker out for a year and a half. I don't get that. Like when I read that, I'm like, how can he be talking about playing and even talking about going to the Olympics? How is that, Doc? Like,
yeah, I mean, I think D Rose had some other things. He had cartilage damage in his knee as well, and I think they probably tried to repair some of that as well as the meniscus. Okay. And so then when you do that, you can't even put weight on it for 6 weeks, and then you're not even jogging till probably like 3 or 4 months. So whole different spectrum of.
I just wanted to make sure.
So yeah, I won't dog D Rose either. But.
Okay. I just making sure. I'm like, I was about to get mad for a minute, but go ahead.
Yeah. Doc, we're gonna keep it Olympics and knees, by the way. Kawhi, we saw the knee basically kept him out of all of the NBA season, pretty much. Now he's prepping to play in the Olympics. How is this going to affect him as far as, okay, going to play in the Olympics and then have to turn around and get that same knee that was bothering him all season ready for the upcoming NBA season? Help me out, Doc. Help me out.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, and I don't know when the deadline is to possibly replace people. I'm still kind of leery that he's going to be on that final roster,
right?
To be honest. I think they're still trying to figure out if Embiid is going to be on that roster too, to be honest. But I think Leonard is definitely the bigger question mark. And with all his injury history, I mean, I think it was certainly out of respect that they gave him that kind of final spot on the team, which, I respect that. But if he's not 100% and he's been there before, I think you got to give it to somebody else, someone younger, someone who's chomping at the bit that's going to be able to give you minutes. And yeah, Kawhi probably needs to focus on his rehab and recovery. And like you said, reset for next year. So I personally will be surprised if Kawhi is in Paris in a USA basketball jersey. So.
Okay, because not only that, I almost wanted to ask you how would it look to his just socially, coaches and his teammates, his boys, like, bro, really?
So really? You can play, right? You can play it.
Yeah,
right.
I don't think he'll be there. I'll be curious to see who the next wave is of subs. Probably one of my Duke boys like Kyrie or Paolo Banchero, but we'll see.
Give it to him. They got
to get the Carolina guys. Why not no Carolina guys?
Who do you want for Carolina in there?
I don't know. I'm just saying we talk about Duke guys. You can't say Duke without Carolina. Ceiling is the roof.
Is Hansborough still playing? Do we want him?
Oh man! Oh, see, those shots.
We go Kobe White. Kobe White.
Okay.
Right.
I'm just joking. No, we can't.
Yeah.
Okay.
Doc, so I wanted to ask you, I'm looking at the upcoming season. They made some changes as far as the kickoff. They're going to take the is it the UFL? I think the way they do it or whatever.
That new kickoff rule. Yeah.
So it reminds me of. It takes me back to, and I've been telling y'all, I've been watching. I'm like a historian, so I've been watching the 1994 season. I've been going through the whole season, watching games each week, right? Of that season, I'm about to be at the last week, either or. And what I'm like, wow, is the kickoffs. Every kickoff is ran out. I think it was probably like what 20, if that, touchbacks because they were kicking from the 30, from their own 30, and you seen players. You seen the kick returners catching the ball at their 15-yard line, and it was always a play. So I know they wanted to say we want to bring in safety and make sure no one gets hurt or anything like that, and stop concussions because that's when it came out when all the concussion problem came out. But Doc, did you really see a problem as far as injuries when it came to those kickoff returns? Even having a wedge, like I never understood the wedge part. I don't know, but I don't understand how would a wedge? You can't have a wedge or hold hands, and because they're not the blocker's not even running full speed. They got a wedge and they running slow, just trying to. So I don't get that. But if you can you tell me?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how much you actually saw. Like acutely, but I think it's one of those things like talking about CTE and everything else and like multiple collisions, etc. I think it's almost more like the cumulative effect where they're trying to minimize unnecessary high-speed collisions, especially away from the ball with just these guys banging into each other. And so I think that's probably what they're looking at, where they just obviously kick it and start the offense and defense basically 10 yards away from each other once the receiver catches the ball. So it's almost like you're running similar to just actually running a normal play where it's more kind of blocking and you're not having like a 50-yard running start lead up like full speed, just trying to knock someone's head off and so I think that's what they're trying to avoid. And I mean, I know some guys, love that and die for it kind of thing. But I think, again, they're looking at the cumulative effects of head trauma and everything else and saying, well, this is probably one way we can cut down on some of these high-speed collisions that probably isn't necessary, even though it's fun to watch. So
do you think that it did? Do you think that affected or that was the reason why you saw a lot of CTEs or what have you?
I don't think it's just that, but I certainly think that can play a part in it with all those, collisions and high speed hits off the old kickoff format. I certainly think it's possible that it contributes. I mean, there's technically not a way to truly measure how much comes from each and every hit, but when you put it all together, it'd be hard to think that didn't somehow contribute. So,
okay.
All right, Doc, we got to talk about these defenseless offensive players. Do you feel that unnecessary roughness call on hitting a defenseless player? Got to have your head on a swivel. Do you think it's too strict, especially when the goal is to dislodge the football? Like, I mean, what are we doing, Doc? What are we doing?
Yeah, I think this one's tough. It's tough. Again, obviously, they're really trying to crack down on player safety and taking away hitting certainly in the neck and the head, both, and also the defender leading with the head.
Right.
But now they're making the rules of certainly not taking them out low or doing the hip drop tackle and everything else. So they really are shrinking down the zone of where you can legally hit or tackle someone. And in a way, I get the frustration, especially of the defensive side of the ball, of saying, well, yeah, how are we just supposed to like put a pillow down and just like play with them and
let them catch it first. Wait till they catch it first.
Yeah, wait till they catch it first.
Okay, I can tackle them now.
Yeah,
fantasy points.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I mean, and you still see some of those big hits where it looks like it might be like targeting or defenseless receiver, and they've really just kind of led more with their shoulder and not their head. But then it's still kind of a gray area as to, well, are they defenseless? Like when are they not defenseless kind of thing? So
Right.
I think it's kind of I don't know if there's ever going to be some kind of good or concise rule. But again, I think the NFL looks at it as player safety, but unfortunately it is making it harder and harder for the defender to bring down the offensive player. I don't think there's any denial of that. So,
Jeez.
I quickly, I just never understand. I understand. See, I understand targeting and college.
leading with the helmet kind of thing.
Leading with the helmet. I get that.
Yeah.
But NFL is hitting a defenseless player. I don't get it. If he's about to catch the ball and it hits your hand, I hit you afterwards with my shoulder all right here. How is that defenseless? And some referees, they'll let it go. But then you have most of them, they're calling. It's like, what was he supposed to do? Is he supposed to let him catch it?
Yeah.
Crazy.
I don't know. But all right, Doc, I'm getting frustrated. But anyway, Lee, football ain't even going on right now. But Doc, we definitely appreciate you, man, for coming on, like always. And we'll see you next week, sir. God willing.
Ceiling is the roof. Ceiling is the roof.
All right, guys.
All right,
love MJ. All right. Have a good one.
Yes, sir. We're gonna take a quick break. You know what? Yeah, we're gonna take a quick. We're gonna put some comedy in. We'll be right back.
One of my great friends, Garrison Hurts, he always talks about the night that you and him and Gino Toretta win New York for the Heisman.
So mad.
He talks about how he actually cried. What was your thought when you heard Gino Toretta's name called?
I just left, man. I just, my mom had to come upstairs and I think I was maybe 18, 19 in and threatened to whip me. Like I'm like she can give me a whipping at this age, but she was just like, this ain't about you, you're representing your family, come back down, do the interviews, and here's what they did, man. They literally took me and Garrison and they put us against each other. And if you like the running back, you got me and Garrison.
You got to pick one or
right.
other.
If you like a quarterback, that's all you had was Gino Toretta. But I'm gonna tell you, man, it was a blessing for me because it made me it created drive, like, oh, what, because here's what, coming into the NFL, my freshman year I couldn't win it over Desmond Howard because freshmen couldn't win the Heisman.
Right.
My sophomore year, they gave it to Gino Toretta. I was in second. My junior year, I finished second to Charlie Ward. I was like, now Gino Toretta, and this is just nothing against Desmond. Played for a minute. He was more of a return guy.
Yeah.
Right.
Gino Toretta,
No.
they didn't even let him hold a cup of coffee.
No, right.
And Charlie Ward went and played basketball.
Right. So you like.
I lost to three guys that didn't even. I'm like, are you kidding me? If you lose to a guy, you want it to be like a guy.
Right.
And no, nothing against, they had great college careers, but when you start to look at hey, they went to the NFL and did what?
Right. And you can live with it a little better.
Yeah, I give it to Dez. He won a Super Bowl with the Packers.
Right.
Return. Yeah. He made a niche for himself. But, was reliable. But the other two guys, I mean, damn.
Marshall always gonna keep it real, man. That's what I love about Marshall, boy.
It's crazy. I had to tell Marshall about, so me and Marshall graduated high school the same year.
Okay.
So every summer, probably like 3 summers, I would go to Eddie Robinson's football camp at Grambling. Marshall won MVP every year. I mean, dude, I would come home. I remember after the first, I think I was like 11. And I just came back. I was like, y'all, listen, I saw the greatest athlete ever. Like who? I don't know his name, but went back next year. He was even better. Won MVP, won all the MVPs. Came back like, hey, y'all, man, the dude named Marshall Falk. Dude, he's sick. You can't even touch him and touch football. They're like, he like that. Okay. Went back the third year. Dude, nobody wanted to participate in no drills Marshall was in. It ain't like Marshall defense day. All right, we all gonna go play offense. Offense day, we gonna all go play defense. Dude, I say this all the time. He doesn't get enough credit, but he's probably one of the greatest. I mean, just complete back. And I love when Peyton tell those stories of how Marshall taught him how to read defenses, how Marshall made him comfortable in the NFL. Like, dude, he doesn't get the proper love and respect that he deserves. When we just talk about the greats to ever play the game, his name don't come up enough for me.
Yeah, like I would say it. He said Falk was a cheat code. I'm gonna say it. What up, Jay? I'm gonna say it real quick. I'll say this real quick because I know we pressed for time. But Marshall told me first time I got the chance to interview him 1-on-1. Marshall told me, he said, because I asked him about that, how Peyton always says that we're talking about Peyton now, one of the best IQs ever, like top 3, and top 2 maybe. And the other one probably being Marshall. And then Peyton said that how Marshall was taught him, like you stated. And Marshall told me, he said before Peyton got there, I thought something was wrong with me. He was, I really thought something was wrong with me because of the way I studied football. And I looked at football. He said, I thought something was wrong with me because why am I the only one like this? Something was wrong. He said when he met Peyton, he felt better because, okay, it's somebody else that thinks like this. So, but that lets you know what type of level and IQ and how smart he was, man. So, yeah, shout out to Marshall Falk, man. Hey, so let's quickly get into this, man. What have you seen with the Braves so far without Acuna? What is your assessment on them?
Mike Harris looks comfortable in the leadoff position. Outside of Max Fried, we got to get some pitching help.
Okay.
Ozuna has been much better than I thought.
Mm-hmm.
And it's time to panic about Austin Riley. It's time to panic. It's time to hit the panic button because we got to get Austin Riley. It's one thing to have to find somebody to replace Acuna. But if we got to replace Acuna and no Austin Riley, dude, we have no chance.
Right.
No chance. Right. So those are like my biggest takeaways, dude. I'm like, dude, I'm seeing like we got beat 9-0 today.
Yeah, today. Right. Uh-huh.
And you see, so on the night before, you had Fried striking out 13, and he just looked dominant. Then you see why we don't have consistency in our pitch rotation. You go from 13 strikeout game to, we give up 9 runs like the guy throwing down batting practice. And we've been spoiled. I mean, it's been a while, but our calling card once upon a time in Atlanta was you knew you always were going to have good pitching. You run out of Glavine, who had this style. Run out of Maddox, who had this one style. You had Steve Avery, who had a style. You had Smoltz, who was a style. Mark Wohlers, me. We just always had these guys. And like now, when we talk about our pitching, now you just be like, man, you almost forget. But matter of fact, like you kind of doing now, like you going back watching the season. I have to pull up Greg Maddox highlights just to keep me sane. So I'm like, bro, okay, so we could pitch once upon a time. Okay, because bro, like say today was terrible.
Yeah,
terrible.
I feel JJ said, August, usually that's when the Braves come alive, it seemed like, anyway, for the last few years. But
yeah,
we'll see, man. And you know what? The Yankees, because usually in August, in the past, it's always been Braves and it'll be the Yankees, right?
Yeah.
But the way the Yankees are playing right now. They have the best. Wait, do they have a better record? I believe no, they don't. Do they have a better record than Philly?
But the way they hit the baseball,
it looked
right?
like it, right?
Jesus Christ.
So right now, Philly has the better record. I mean, they have half a game.
Yeah.
44-19. Yankees are 43-19. But the way they're hitting the ball, even some of the pitching, man, their pitching has been better.
They're pitching
coming together.
So we always talked about every year you see the Yankees just blow the bag on in free agency. They get these guys in. Some of the guys that they brought in are actually finally starting to live up to the hype, or now that the pressure's down, they've been in pinstripes for like 3 years now, and people have kind of forgot about them. But you forget that these guys do have a skill set. It's the reason why their payroll is their payroll. So I mean, yeah, they should be winning, but I mean, but they're starting to get productivity from a lot of those guys who were supposed to be instant hits when they signed.
And the thing is, I don't like to call him Giancarlo Stanton. I call him Mike Stanton. He ain't playing like. I think he came up with that name because it sounds cool. We're gonna call him Mike Stanton, his name, but he made that name up, dog. Damn. But anyway, Mike, the way Mike Stanton been playing, he was the second guy they was trying to depend on.
But we do know he gonna get hurt. We know this.
That's what I'm saying, and that's why I call him Mike. That's why he's not Giancarlo. He Mike Stanton. So yeah, Mike Stanton. Like I said, man, we saw. I could have sworn that joker name was Mike before. After a few years, I said that joker trying to be cool and suave. Nah, dog, you Mike. You get hurt every year. You turn into Mike.
One Carlo.
Right.
Get out of here.
Dog. You Mike. But before it was like you had big guy swinging, but then you had Judge, but you wanted Stanton to come in, and like you said, he was hurt, so therefore you couldn't. But now with Soto, Juan is playing like he's starting to get it now, and then now the fact that he's getting it, it's like they might be up to something. You know what I'm saying? You ain't gotta worry about Stanton anymore because you got Soto, and then you're right, like you said, Jay. Jay said July, August is who is still healthy.
Well, the Braves can't really play until the Mets get like a 15-game lead. They like to just run the Mets down. That's what the Braves play with. They got the Mets. Get out, Mets.
Are they going to use Philly? They got to paint Philly as the Mets now.
Feel like kryptonite now.
Right.
They got to be the Mets, Chase.
Yeah, you ain't lying. You're not lying. But hey, man, I appreciate you for coming on. Hey, real quick, man. We got one more for you, man. I'm gonna just do one more. I gotta get out of here, man. I gotta go get the girls, man. But
I always wanted to know because have you ever gotten a stare? Because I remember even with Phil Simms come off Bill just stare. Just give him a stare.
It is. Have y'all ever seen it on camera, like tape or anything?
Yeah.
It is the most intense and fearful that you will be in that moment that it happened, because it happened to me. So I'm walking off the field, and I try to get smart. Bill's down here. I try to walk all the way down here.
Oh, yeah.
Like, you know what, let me get some distance from him. Surely he'll lose me. And as I'm walking,
as everybody walking off the field.
I see him looking at me. Right. But I'm going to go down here, then I'm going to circle back and sit on the bench. So I did that whole routine, and I'm sitting on the bench, and Jason Witten walks by. I said, hey, man, this is during the game. There's 60-some thousand people at the game. I said, hey, man, is he still looking at me? Yeah, I'm still looking at you. Shit. Man, come on, Bill. Like, you don't want to look. You can't look up. You got to keep looking down. You'll look up a little bit. Dang, he's still staring at me. There was a guy that got tackled right by. He did not break eye contact right. I was like, yeah, man. I don't know about this one right here, man. This is gonna be bad.
man.
So
if y'all don't know, again, that is Andre Garrard. He's
best interviews we did. Dude
Oh yeah,
was,
best interviews.
Dude was comedy and classic.
Comedy.
Great storyteller.
He's the former center for the Cowboys. Not just a Pro Bowler, but he's an All-Pro center.
Yeah.
And he was talking about Bill Parcells. You know, Bill Parcells gave that famous stare down. So comedy. I got plenty of that with him. Dude. Trust me, we're gonna have plenty more with him.
And the funny part about him, he in a lot of interviews that happened that week. So everybody had like a certain time, and they got to get going because they got to hit other tables. Dude was at our table at least 25 minutes, y'all.
No, that interview was 46 minutes. Makes you know.
Wow. So everybody, this is what I'm telling y'all.
Radio Row.
Most interviews on Radio Row are 6 to 8 minutes, and the handler looking at you like, wrap it up, time to go. Dude, once a lot of people got to our table, dude, we were having full-blown 40-minute conversation. I didn't know it was 40 minutes. That's
46.
Crazy.
We averaged was lowest around like 15 minutes. It was like 15 to 20 minutes, everyone. Because we were having fun. Can't wait for this year.
I bumped into Jamal the other day, and me and Jamal was still laughing. He was like, I said, "You fired the handler?" He's like, "Man, look, he ain't gonna be with me next year. I tell you that. I'm booking my own interview. He ain't gonna tell me I can't hang out with my brother. This my brother."
I wish I could tell that. I can't tell that story. I can't say what I want to say, but that was hilarious. Oh man, but he said what he said.
Hey man, yeah, he was hot with Buddy.
What he said?
Like,
he said, I don't even know you when I fire you. Anyway, y'all. Oh man, but hey, man, another show, man. Another success. Great show, fun. It was cool. And y'all know how we do it, man. You know how I normally do it. Hey, if y'all hear this music, you already know what it means. Means it is time to let you go. But before we let you go, I have a couple shout outs. Stay tuned because you might be one of them. First of all, I gotta give a shout out to the Almighty God for giving me this platform to do what I do, say what I say, make you all happy, mad, give it to stop it. But we didn't give our stoppers, but it's cool. We got plenty next week. I want to thank our guests. We got to thank definitely Pat Freeman for coming on. Make sure you get the book again, Maximizing the Game. Also, I want to thank Dr. Donnie Father III for coming on. Like always, appreciate you. My guy Mace, appreciate you, Mace. Always, hey, man. Something to say, dog? You got something to say?
Just a bat signal. You know we're coming, man. Talk these sports, man. That's what we're gonna do, dog.
That's how we do. Also, man, I got to shout out people that was in the chat room, man. A lot of people didn't say it much. We thank you, Mike. You know, appreciate you, man. But we had some people. We had Emmanuel Glaze. Glaze came on here. He's looking at it.
Glaze, you better get to College Park on time tomorrow, Glaze. New York in time.
I know, right? I might have missed that. I might have to come for the early part. I'll tell you why later. But
it's all good.
Everybody else, man, who came in, watched, man. I got to thank my family. I got to thank my beautiful children. I got to thank my aunties, uncles, brothers, sisters, nieces, nephews, cousins.
Real quick, your photographer. Shout out to your photographer.
Shout out to Candace. I got to let Candace see this part. Shout out to Candace. Go ahead.
Hey, man, Candace. Let me tell y'all something. The power of that camera, J-Mac, you gonna understand this. The power of having that big old camera in your hand is real. Dejanay, she stopped just for your photographer. She saw that.
Yeah, she told me.
Camera, and Dejanay was like, "Hey, get this picture and send it to me." Dope, man.
He told her. She said, "I'm not," because who was it? I forgot who the player was, but she was like, "Let's take a picture." And Dejanay was like, "I'm not taking a picture unless she take a picture with her camera." So we got the picture. We sent it to her. Also, man, hey, love on family. Oh, shout out to my play cousins too. I ain't say them.
Yeah. Play cousins are valuable.
Hey, love on family. Let family know that you love them while they still can feel it, while they still alive. Eat good, drink responsibly, watch some sports. We got the finals coming up tomorrow. We got baseball. We got all that. Next week, same time, same show, same crazy host, same sports nonsense. When you miss me.